Hey YouTube, I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm sharing my first impressions of Assassin's Creed Shadows, after about 16 hours of gameplay. Now I know 16 hours might seem like a lot for a first impressions video, but if you played any of the recent Assassin's Creed games, except Mirage, you'll know that these games are huge, around 40 plus hours just for the main story. I wanted to share my thoughts while they're fresh, because even in this early stage, Shadows has already given me a lot to talk about, both good and bad. So let's dive in. Before we get into Shadows, let me give you some context. I've been a huge fan of this franchise since I saw the Brotherhood trailer back in 2010. I've played every installment, completed most of them, and my personal favorites are AC2, Brotherhood, 3, Black Flag, and Origins. That said, I'm not blind to the series' flaws. There have been games that I couldn't even finish because they just didn't click for me. So while I love Assassin's Creed, I'm also critical of it, and I hope that balance comes through in this video. Right from the opening moments, Naoe stands out. Her facial animations are great, the Japanese voice acting sounds good to me, and her story actually made me feel something. Something I haven't experienced in an AC game since Origins. But the best new feature is the missions where you relive Naoe's past. They add so much depth to her character and make her one of my favorite protagonists in the series. After years of playing as relatively blank slates in Odyssey and Valhalla, Naoe feels alive, and it's one of my favorite things about the game. Now, I want to talk about the biggest issue I have with Shadows, the dual protagonists. Ubisoft has tried this before, with Syndicate, Odyssey, Valhalla, and even Watch Dogs Legion. Although these are all different games where multiple protagonists were used differently, for me, the end result was always the same. The characters feel underdeveloped because the story is split between them. Yasuke isn't a bad character, but he feels unnecessary. Naoe can do almost everything he can, so why dilute the focus? Compare this to a game like Shadow Tactics, which I recently played on the channel. It was clearly designed around multiple characters, and it enhanced the gameplay to create a tight and complete experience. Here though, it just feels like a missed opportunity. If Shadows had focused solely on Naoe, I think it might have been one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games. When talking about the world, the obvious comparison is Ghost of Tsushima. While I don't think any game comes close to it in terms of beautiful environmental design, Shadows holds its own. The landscapes are gorgeous, from coastal towns to winding mountain roads to the rivers filled with merchant boats. The map size is just right too. Not too big like Odyssey, and not too small like Mirage. It's in a sweet spot. Exploring these worlds is some of the most fun that I have in these games, and so far it seems like Ubisoft has built a really exciting one here. Now let's talk about gameplay, because this is where Shadows shines. The stealth mechanics are refined, with tools like kunai to take your target down from a distance, and the shuriken for snuffing out lights, adding another element of strategy. Parkour also feels just right in Shadows. While the game doesn't require you to scale cliff faces like in Origins and Odyssey, or the huge buildings of 18th century Paris, the mix of parkour, grapple hook, and the great movement all work together to create the fantasy of being a shinobi in feudal Japan. Ghost of Tsushima is still my pick when it comes to overall gameplay, but Shadows does the shinobi fantasy better. Sneaking across rooftops, assassinating targets, and escaping before you're detected. If you are detected though, combat is also satisfying. Naoe's katana is perfect for duels, while her tanto lets her pull off double assassinations. Yasuke, on the other hand, feels like a tank, brutal and powerful. Both styles are fun, but I still wish the game had just focused on Naoe. A couple more nitpicks I have are that the scout system for finding objectives is really annoying. It's a clunky replacement for the old eagle mechanic. I just want to either find the objective myself or mark it. This new system just breaks my immersion and it's not really very fun. As for loot and side activities, I haven't seen enough to judge fully, but holding the left trigger to scan for nearby loot is a great addition. I'm happy to see the loot pulse from older games gone. Overall, Assassin's Creed Shadows surprised me. After some rough years, this feels like a step in the right direction. The story's engaging, the world's gorgeous, and the gameplay is probably the best in the series. It's far from perfect, but it's got heart, and that's something I've really missed. Thank you so much for watching. I've been loving making these videos, even if they take a while because of work. But I'll keep uploading as often as I can, and I really appreciate your support. These are just my first impressions. Feel free to comment and let me know about your experiences as well. I'll see you in the next one.